the bed! Ben, I know you're new to this whole video thing, so I've got some great advice for you. The one thing to do before you start any video is... I can't believe it's already 9 days into this year-long conversation. It feels like it's just flying by. But at the same time, when I think that we've got 50 more weeks, I'm just... It scares me. I mean, not the same way that fire-breathing eagles scare me, but, you know. It is daunting. It actually reminded me of some advice that our dad gave me. Ben, you know our dad, right? Marathon runner, 4-time Emmy Award winner. Pops one more and you can join the Ron Burgundy Club. The advice was, you can't run a marathon 26 miles at a time. You can only run it one step at a time. Which is not only great running advice, but it's just great life advice. Anytime you're faced with some enormous challenge, you can't try and tackle the whole thing at once. You have to just take it a little bit at a time, and you'll get there. You will. I've actually received a lot of great advice in my life, Ben. Don't touch that plate, it's hot. Hey, don't touch that light bulb, it's still hot. Hey, that stove is still on. Stay away from that eagle. You should buy Diablo 3! Maybe you should get some fireproof gloves. I think it's hard to come across really good advice, particularly if it has anything to do with your personal life. I find that a lot of time when people are asking for advice in their personal life, it's because they already know what they need to do, and they don't want to do it. And they just want you to tell them that it's okay to do something else. Actually, Ben, some of the best advice I ever got was in my media writing class in college from my professor, Roland Lazenby. Ben, Professor Lazenby took a no-prisoners approach to teaching his class, and he scared the crap out of his students on the first day. He told it like it was, and unfortunately, the world of media writing is unpleasant. Our first day of class went a little like this. Bad news, people. Nobody's hiring, and there's a lot of competition out there. In addition to the people sitting in this room, there are 3 other classes just like you, not to mention all of the students that are going to graduate 2 years ahead of you. If you think the economy is going to recover in the next 2 years, you're kidding yourselves. If you're one of the fortunate enough people to get hired into the business, you will be overworked, underpaid, on call all the time, and held incredibly responsible for every mistake you ever make. Because as we've just established, there's classrooms of people waiting for your job. He wasn't being a jerk, he was just being realistic. It was the kind of class where if you turned in an inaccuracy on any paper, you got a 60. And everyone got 60s. On the flip side, you couldn't get a 100. He didn't believe in those. No one writes a perfect paper, including himself, he said. And I think including himself on the same playing field as us really made everyone feel a lot better because of how serious they took the class. The great advice I got from this man was, you've got to put yourself out there. It sounds really simple, and he went on to list a bunch of ways to do it, you know, by joining the newspaper, the radio, or the TV station on campus. And I think a lot of people heard those options and said, okay, I'm done, because every media student is part of one of those organizations. You had to go the extra mile, and I think that's what he meant. So it didn't happen right away, but those words eventually inspired me to start a video blog, Ben. John Carlin. It didn't have anything to do with the news and was barely related to my field, but I kept at it every week and it began to grow and grow and grow. It was poorly lit, edited, and shot, but 2 years later I was sitting in a job interview and they asked me, what's the best idea you've ever had? And I told them that story, Ben, and I honestly believe that's why I got hired. So whatever field you're interested in, put yourself out there. Life lessons aside, I want to talk about the grizzly eagle shark. I spent a good portion of my day doodling this grizzly eagle shark. I'm certainly not an artist, and I don't think I'm doing the grizzly eagle shark justice. I pose a challenge to anyone who is in on this conversation. If you head over to our Facebook page and upload any picture, drawing, doodle, stick figure at all that represents the grizzly eagle shark, I will feature that picture in one of my videos. My question for everyone today is, what is the best advice you ever got? Leave it in the comments below. And 50 subscribers! That's so cool! Thanks for joining the conversation. That's all I got for today, Ben. See you in another life, brother.